Alright, what's going on, guys? Trev back again, here to bring you another video. This one's going to be doing your daily Walking Dead video for today, because of course, we just have one more day. Tomorrow night is the premiere for the second half of The Walking Dead Season 7. Let's start with some expectations. And spoiler warning as usual if you're not cut out for Walking Dead. So it's been a pretty great break, I want to say. I want to thank you guys for all the support throughout the break. We went straight through. There was only one day pretty much where I didn't have a new Walking Dead video for you guys. So that's pretty awesome. You know, it's pretty tough to to produce 7 days a week, 365. Just the one day with a Gotham video, but no video for Walking Dead. So I hope you guys had a good break. I know I did. You know, it went by pretty quick, and we had lots of fun talking about. We did some good stuff. You know, timeline breakdown of the season. We had some death predictions as usual for the second half. You know, lots of different videos for Q&As and top 10s, top 10 best characters, top 10 best episodes, that kind of stuff. So really had a great break with you guys. Want to thank you guys for all of the positive support. I feel like there isn't as much trolling. I'm expecting more trolling because there hasn't been as much trolling as I'm used to, over the years. So pretty cool. 1 year ago, pretty much today, even though the release date was a bit different. But basically, last year did one of these expectation videos for No Way Out. And of course, we saw, the mid-season premiere for Season 6 with No Way Out. The biggest episode of The Walking Dead ever for me anyway. I know some of you guys it's not your favorite episode, but for me, No Way Out is just... I think it's the best they've ever done, to be honest, and I think it's the bar that's been set, and hopefully one day they can kind of go over and beat No Way Out with one of these episodes that we're going to see. But for this half, going into this half, in terms of expectations, so what am I thinking? How good do I think this half is going to be? I think it's going to be pretty good from everything we've seen so far. Maybe average Walking Dead. I'm not expecting it to be second half of Season 6. I'm not expecting it to be maybe even first half of Season 6, because that was pretty impressive too, at least for me. I really love the Season 6 all the way through. Some people do, some people don't. Season 5, I'm kind of expecting it to be, somewhat similar to the first half of Season 7, and probably get better as it goes, with the ending being awesome. And I mean, the thing is, like, if you look at it per season, every season of The Walking Dead, we have different stuff going on. We have different story arcs. So, of course, we have things that, people will like better. Maybe some people love Season 5 because they're on the road for a lot of it, and there's a lot of new environments, which are cool. A lot of people like Season 6, like me, if you're a fan of old school, zombies, and just getting to see a ton of zombies is always fun. So, it depends on what you like. Season 7, is really... if you look at the first half and what we're probably going to see from the second half, it's kind of like a restart point for Walking Dead. It's kind of like, the Season 7 premiere with the big double death is like, it's almost like the capping off or the end of kind of the Walking Dead survival arc, I guess you could say, or survival type of storytelling into, a much larger world, and Negan and all the different bigger communities and all the different groups that are joining. The series has changed a lot, for sure, since the beginning of the show, and we had one group and they're just trying to survive. Now it's like a totally different type of story, and I feel like Season 7's premiere is a pretty big milestone or marker for Walking Dead and where the series is going to go and where it's been. So after that, of course, with Season 7, it hasn't been, as big as the premiere was. The premiere, kind of was like a finale almost, even though it was the first episode. And after that, the show lost quite a bit of steam, and you've had a lot of people dropping off, a lot of viewers dropping off, a lot of people complaining. Second half of this season, I'm thinking, building to a new story. They're building to something big. Season 8, if Season 8 includes all of All Out War, which it might include half of All Out War, most of All Out War, we'll see. War tends to go by pretty quickly, in TV series when you adapt it. Season 7 is kind of like, the big milestone, and then the building up to a new, incredible season, which should be Season 8. I've been saying since Season 5, when people ask me, Trev, when do you think we're going to see All Out War? I did say I thought it would be Season 8. Looks like we might see just the start of it at the end of this season, and then Season 8 probably being the best season of The Walking Dead ever. So can we understand that, some of the episodes here and there maybe haven't been amazing. They've done some bottle episodes and things like that. Yeah, and I mean, the second half of season 7, I'm thinking it'll be pretty good as well too. But season 8, when it ends, and season 8 should be just the best. So we'll see if I'm right about that. My expectations for the season in terms of hype and everything and where we're at, it's not crazy. It's not at a crazy level right now. I'm not expecting them to do to have an episode as good as No Way Out, or to have maybe as good of a crazy fast action pacing as they did in season 6 for a lot of it. I'm expecting it to be, a bit slower, maybe somewhere along the lines of, second half season 4. I don't know. It's hard to compare one half to another, but something like the first half, maybe a little bit better. Hopefully a little bit better than the first half of season 7. So expectations not crazy. I think that's reasonable. That way you don't set yourself up too high and then get disappointed if it's not what you expected. But it still should be good, and we know a lot of the episodes are being extended. The first 3 are extended right away, so that's cool to hear. We're going to be getting more like 17 or 18 episodes a season, really, because so many episodes are extended. If you divide out the time, it actually is probably closer to 18 or 19 episodes rather than 16 with all the extra add-ins and sequences and stuff they've had. Extended episodes, very cool. So let me know what your guys' expectations are. Where are you thinking for this half? Where have you set yourself up? Are you thinking it's going to be the best half ever? Middle ground, somewhere around me, like average middle ground, or do you think it's going to suck? Write in the comments below, and I'll put a poll in the cards section there for the top right of the video for you guys if you want to vote. Lucas Henniger says, Trev Q&A, who do you think would win in a one-on-one fist fight, Daryl or Negan? Personally, I know that Daryl would beat the cancer out of him. I've actually never heard that before, beat the cancer out of him. But I'd like to know if you think otherwise. So do I think that Negan could take Daryl in a one-on-one fist fight? I don't think so. No, I don't think Negan could. I mean, Negan's pretty tough. TV series version Negan, no. I got to go with Norman Reedus. I got to go with Daryl on that one. Nothing against JDM, but I think Norman Reedus takes that one. Especially in the premiere after you see him hit him with a pretty good right hook. Negan takes it like a champ, but I do think if Negan didn't have all his guys around, Negan's still tough. Negan's still really tough, but I think Daryl could take him because Daryl's just nasty tough for sure, one-on-one, definitely. With weapons, that's more interesting. You might still have to go with Daryl. Negan doesn't need to fight that much. He's not really a fighter because he's got all his guys around him to take care of him. He's a mastermind character. He's also tough too. Ross MacHattie says, would be better fine if Daryl died, saving one of the other A-list characters like Carl or Rick. So would it be better if Daryl was killed off? So, with the season 7 premiere, for a while I did think they might go with Daryl instead of Glenn. Abraham they went with 2. And that would have been really crazy if they would have killed Daryl off in the premiere. But, it's a safer choice to go with Glenn and Abraham because Norman Reedus, has just developed. I mean, he has literally helped Walking Dead. Like Walking Dead, I can say this would not be as popular if Norman Reedus was not involved in the project. I can say that. It's kind of like Greg Nicotero or Gimple or Kirkman or people like this. The project wouldn't be what it is if you took some of these people out. If you took him out or some of the others out, it just wouldn't be at the same level that it has been and being like biggest show on cable and everything. And Daryl is actually a fan favorite. He's even more, in most polls I see, he is more heavily voted than Rick as favorite character in the show, which is ridiculous because it's Rick's show. So for Norman Reedus to figure out a way to be cool enough, to have a cool enough X factor to get people to like him over Rick is, I don't even know how he did that. It's ridiculous, but he did it, and as a result, it's not smart for them to kill off the most popular character on the show. You could do it. Sometimes it can work. It can get over, but most of the time it's you're better off to go the safe route. So no, I think Daryl's safe, for a long time for sure. Maybe season 10 or something if he gets tired of doing it. Riley Blue says, Trev Q&A, should we expect a death in premieres and finales of The Walking Dead? So should we expect a death all the time? Personally, I don't think it's necessary. Only is the short story calls for, only as the story calls for it? And have you ever reread the comic series or rewatched the TV series? So for your first question, should we expect to always see a death in all premieres and finales? No, I don't think so. And I don't think that's reasonable to expect to see a character killed off every time. I don't think it's necessary. I don't think it's 100% necessary to always see someone big killed off. You could have had the season 3 finale, for example. Many people hated it because Andrea was killed off. Was it really necessary to put that Andrea death in there? It kind of felt like Mazzar was just throwing everything but the kitchen sink at viewers to get us to be like, oh my God, Walking Dead. Did it work? Yeah, it worked, because if you look at the ratings going into season 4, the show did become even more popular. But is it really necessary? If you just saw Merle get killed off, do you really need to see Andrea get killed off in that episode? Or could you have it be kind of a fight back and forth, and maybe Governor loses, and that could be your finale? I think that could be your finale. I don't think you always have to have an A-list or B-list character be killed off every time. I don't think it's 100% necessary, no. But with the pattern they've kind of set for themselves, it's kind of come to be sort of expected. The season 6 finale, did it have a huge character death? No, because it got cliffhanged, right? So you don't always need to have one. Or the mid-season finale for season 3. I don't think it had a major character death from Rick's side. It had deaths, but it wasn't, I think, like Oscar, right? But it wasn't like a huge death because he was like brand new and stuff. So, and with regards to rewatchability of Walking Dead, I think it's one of the most rewatchable series there is. I think of every show, it's one that you can really go back and watch and enjoy because the characters do get killed off. So you have a certain amount of time to see Shane in the series, Andrea, a lot of these other characters, Tyrese, and a lot of people have their different favorites. Merle's a personal favorite for me. I love to watch season 3 because I love to see what Merle's going to do because he's not in the show anymore. So it certainly is kind of fresh each time you go back and watch a certain season because those characters are different. They're not in the show anymore, most of them. If you watch season 3 or season 4, it's like all the A-listers are different. It's weird, it's really weird for the most part. So yeah, I think it's really rewatchable, and also with the comics, same thing, very rereadable. Yeah, I've reread the comics, a ton of times now. I mean, it's kind of ridiculous, probably like 5 to 10 times. Of course, I go over them again for videos and stuff like that with you guys. Or if I'm doing explained videos and stuff like that, I have to go over the comics and do that. So yeah, I've definitely reread, and rewatched everything Walking Dead. I put more time into watching and reading Walking Dead than any other series ever. I'll put it that way. And I'm a pretty big fan of some other stuff too, like Batman, Dark Knight, a lot of other series as well too. Game of Thrones I like a lot, but I've watched Walking Dead. I've clocked more hours in Walking Dead than any other show ever. Believe me there. Brian Atcham says, hey Trev, with all the new communities in The Walking Dead now, do you think some will fall and a lot of red shirts will die? Please answer this, Trev. I asked like 8 times now and really appreciate it. So for Brian A, sorry brother, and to you guys too, no offense if I don't pick a question that you send through, we only have time for so many, and sometimes I'll pick one and it's just a random luck sometimes, which ones I pick and where it goes, timing and things like that too. So but do you think that a lot of red shirts? Well, red shirts are always going to die off, and that's something for finales. You don't necessarily need to have, A-list big character deaths. I think it helps, with a finale, spreading the buzz and everything, getting people to come back for the shock value. I don't think you need it, though, 100%. But are red shirts going to be killed off throughout the series? Yeah, you're going to see red shirts be killed off. I mean, that's whatever. It's just part of it. So absolutely, yeah, you're going to see that. Especially this half too. We'll probably see a lot next season too. I mean, think about All Out War. You're probably going to have 30 to 50 red shirts be killed off at least. It's a war. They should be. And the last one will be from Scott Weinberg, who says, hey Trev, TV show related. Do you think this scene with Carl crying when crying when Negan is busting his balls about his eye socket, then realizes he's just a kid and apologizes, is related to Negan's past being a teacher and dealing with children? So that's one thing about Negan. I do think Negan does have a heart, even though it's probably wedged pretty far down there. I do think that Negan does feel empathy to other human beings. It's just a lot less than most of us. it's a lot. He feels a lot less empathy to other human beings than majority of us do. He's a bad guy. That's kind of how they are, right? And the less they feel, the more evil, the more bad they are, right? Not feeling for others. So, but for Carl, of course, being a past teacher, like you said, being a high school teacher, being that's his career, of course. But he always, even there, he gives kids a lot of shit, and he's a really tough gym teacher. But, one time I was in gym class in high school, and my teacher came in, and he told a kid he was going to slam his head through a wall. He went nuts on everybody. It was like health, and we were talking about penises and vaginas and the whole bit. So he was losing the class, right? So he came in, and he went totally alpha on everybody, and he freaking put his, he grabbed a kid, he brought him in the hall, and he just... He went nuts on us, right? And so afterwards, he told me, I think it was like 2 years after that was all an act, right? He went totally nuts on everybody. He went in the hallway, and afterwards he's like, okay, well, go down to the office, whatever, and he cooled off. But he wasn't actually angry. He was just, and they do that, because I saw him doing it to another class, and he came out and he said, hey, Trev, how's it going? Oh, I'm doing good. Yeah, how you doing? Oh, yeah, everything's good. Because I heard him yell again, and he's like, yeah, just breaking in the news. Just breaking in these guys, right? So it's, they got to keep the kids in line. Adolescent, teenage boys, I mean, it's part of it's a game, and, for Negan to do that, being a gym teacher, is like, whatever. I mean, you got to deal with that shit. If you're teaching health, like I just said about, it's ridiculous. So, yeah, I mean, sometimes teachers just got to get alpha on people. And, for Negan, I do think that he does feel, sympathetic towards Carl because of what's happened to him, his mom, and everything like that. So, absolutely. I think even he felt sad at that moment. So, very excited for tomorrow night, guys. I hope you are too. Have one more for you tomorrow. We got room for maybe two. Well, at least one for tomorrow. Maybe sometimes I'm like getting ready to watch the episode. And I'm like, gotta make a video. Gotta talk to the guys. So, we'll see. But at least one more tomorrow for you guys. And, of course, review tomorrow night. All the good stuff. If you like today's video, guys, please thumb it up below. You can share, you can favorite. If you're new and you want to subscribe, I'd love to subscribe. That's it for this one. I'll see you guys again for the next one. As always, it's Trev saying peace. Later, guys. See you soon.